time, how much you need to earn per month in order for this to even be worth your time? You're going to get a lot. You know what you're going to get a lot of? $500, $700, $300, $1,000. People just want to pay off their credit cards or whatever. They're dealing with their student loans. They're going to go inside their brain. They're going to come up with a number that would be worth their time. Okay? Let them answer, let them answer, let them answer. Question number 4, hours per week. If you decided to do this, how many hours per week, realistically, how many hours a week could you commit? Let's say a person says, I need to earn $1,000 a month. That would be worth my time. Cool. How many hours a week do you think you could realistically commit to developing $1,000 monthly income? How many hours a week? Part-time, your hours, whatever you want to do, they're flexible. You're going to get a lot of 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours. To earn $1,000 real money, some people was to give you 20 hours. So, how many hours a week realistically could you commit? And then question number 5, how many months? How many months? So, what'd you like best? I like the product. A scale of 1 to 10, what are you? I'm a 5. Hypothetically, if you did start building this business part-time, how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? $1,000. Cool. How many hours a week, realistically, do you think you could commit to developing $1,000 monthly income? 12 hours a week. Fantastic. How many months would you be willing to work those 12 hours a week while you are developing a $1,000 monthly income? Because it's not going to start there. I mean, you're going to build to it because it's a business. How many months would you be willing to? You're going to get a lot of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. Okay? And then if I, would you? Now you're going to take, they answered, they answered, they answered, they answered, they answered. You're going to take their answers and you're going to put it here. Say, if I could show you how to develop $1,000 monthly income, working 12 hours a week over the course of the next 6 months, would you be ready to get started? If I could show you how, let's say what'd you like best? I like the business, scale 1 to 10 where I am. I'm a 7. Well, what monthly income would be worth your time? $3,000. How many hours a week would you be willing to commit? 14. How many months? 5 months. Well, let me ask you a question. If I could show you how to develop a $3,000 monthly income working 14 hours a week over the course of the next 5 months, would you be ready to get going? If I could show you how to do that. And guess what? It's so difficult. What this does is it takes a person that was not imagining that they were going to build a business, and it causes them to imagine what it would be like. You went into their mind. What'd you like best? They came up with something. Scale of 1 to 10, they gave you a number. What income would be worth your time? They gave you a number. They say, well, I'm just not interested, right? You see, if you were interested, just for fun, I mean, this is not binding. I'm just asking. You got to have a number that would be worth your time. If you're interested. I know you're not, but if you were, what would be the number that would be worth your time? $5,000. All right, fantastic. How many hours a week could you commit? If that $5,000 monthly income was real, how many hours a week could you commit to having an extra $5,000 coming from a new business, new cash flow? How many hours a week could you commit to building something like that? 15. And how many months would you be willing to work 15 hours while you're developing a $5,000 monthly income? If you believe that that was real, how many months would you give it before you said, you know what, it's not working out? I'd give it 8 months. So, all right, cool. I know you're not interested, but if you were, if I could show you how to develop $5,000 monthly income, working 15 hours a week over the course of the next, whatever it was, 8 months, Would you be interested in at least taking the next step? Exposure to exposure. At least learning more. At least getting more information. At least meeting some people. At least whatever. If I could show you. Now, what do you have to do to show somebody the answers to their questions? Usually, you could pull out your compensation plan, and there's a rough average of an income based upon an active person at whatever level inside of your company. You just have to sketch out what it takes for a person to get to the second level, third level, fourth level inside of your company. And 9 times out of 10, people are going to be very normal. They're going to say $500 would be worth my time, 10 hours a week, I'll give you 6 months. Occasionally, you're going to get somebody that's not normal. They say, I need $20,000 a month, and I'm willing to give it 5 hours a week, and I'll give you 3 months. Like, well, I got to ask a few questions. How much are you making now? Consultant. How much are you making now? I'm making $8,000 a month. So you're willing to, you're making $8,000 a month full time, but you want $20,000 a month after 3 months, working 5 hours a week? How does that make sense? But if I ask them, how much are you making now? And they say, well, I'm making $80,000 a month. Okay. Maybe you got the influence in order to be able to do it. I could show you what it would take. You have to have a lot of influence in order to be able to make this work in 5 hours a week over the course of the next 3 months. But I'm not saying you can't do it. Maybe you're the first one to do it inside of our whole company. But typically, you might have to change one of those numbers. 5 hours a week over the course of the next 30 months? Or 50 hours a week over the course of the next 3 months? Or take one of these numbers and change it up a bit? If somebody is being super unrealistic, you have one of two choices. As a consultant, if somebody is pitching you something that's completely unrealistic, what's your job as a consultant? To be straight with them, right? Say, look, nobody's ever done that inside of our company, but I'm not saying you can't. Who am I to say that you can't do it? I could describe to you what it would take in order to be able to pull it off. So you could either be that unicorn that makes it happen, or you could adjust one of these numbers and still have a successful story. Be strong in your consulting posture versus, pushy salesperson posture. Be a farmer who's planting seeds and cultivating and being a pro versus being a hunter. You're not there trying to get somebody, you're trying to help somebody. These questions, what they do is they trigger the imagination. And the imagination is what causes a person to start seeing themselves potentially in this role. That's what we're doing, exposure to exposure. After every exposure, you should be doing this. You haven't tried the product, what'd you like best about the product? Go through the process. You sit down for coffee, what'd you like best about what I just shared with you? They come on a Zoom call, what'd you like best about the Zoom call? They meet your upline, what'd you like best about our conversation with the upline? And then go through this process. Every time, every time, every time, every time, every time. You follow through here, it's so difficult for a person to say no to this if I would you, because literally everything you're offering is exactly what they said they wanted. And all you got to do is pull out your company and your compensation plan and show them how they could get it inside of your opportunity. It's really basic. It's really simple, but it's vitally important. So it is simple. I will just tell you this basic, simple process. If you follow them the way I describe it, you can use your own language. You can use a little bit of, kind of liberty with your language so it sounds like you. But if you follow this, you're going to do really, really well. And what sometimes is helpful in learning this is seeing some examples. So from a recent event, I want to show you a few examples when I'm role-playing with people in the audience as to how this works in real life. So check that out. What's your name, sir?
Michael.
Hi, Michael. How you doing?
Pleasure.
So if I talk to Michael and I say, hey, what'd you like best? I just showed you a video. What'd you like best? Make something up.
I love the concept of getting paid every month.
You like the concept of getting paid every month. Fantastic. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? 1, 0 interest, 10, you're ready to get started right this second. A 6. Fabulous. So let me ask you another question.
Hypothetically, if you got started in this business part-time, how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time?
$1,000 a month.
$1,000. If you're doing this part-time, how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? The words worth your time are really, really critical. Hypothetically is also very helpful. Off the record, just between you and me, let's just, spitball this. How much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? He says $1,000 a month. Do I care what he says? All I care is that he gives me a number. He says, I don't know. Just play with me. How much? I'm not so sure. Just give me a number. Pick one. Okay, fine. $500, $1,000, whatever the number is. Question number 4. This will flow naturally as you practice it a little bit. How many hours a week, realistically, could you commit to developing that $1,000 monthly income?
5 to 10 hours a week.
5 to 10 hours a week. You're going to get a lot of those. How many months, question number 5, how many months would you be willing to work those 5, 10 hours a week while you're developing $1,000 monthly income? 6 months. Question number 6 is just if I would you. If I could show you, Michael J. If I could show you, Michael, how to develop $1,000 monthly income working 5 to 10 hours a week over the course of the next 6 months, would you be ready to get started?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know how hard it is for him to say no to that? Every single one of those answers was what he wanted. Every one. All I did was ask the questions. So this works with a positive person.